Donna Ziegler is the chair of the Regina Catholic School Board. And Donna, you guys had your meeting last night. How did it go?
So the meeting went well. We know that we're going to be losing about $1.5 million out of our budget, and we're going to see an increase of students of about 370 next year. So we automatically see about a $471 per student loss. So we are trying to incorporate some changes. We've known about the reduction or a reduction since about January, so we started to think along that lines. And we've started to move staff more into the classroom versus being consultants, coordinators, coaches, so that we can reduce some of our FTEs that way.
Are there any other changes that you've already decided would be a good way to go to try and make up that shortfall?
Well, like I said, we have a list of a number of things. One of the other areas is we're going to reduce our superintendents by one. So that's another component of this by the end of June. But there's a number of things on that list that we're considering.
Is there anything you could give us more specifically that, especially as it might pertain to kids in the classroom, where they might see an impact because of the funding cut?
So that is our goal, that we try and not impact the classroom as much as possible. So the things that we're looking at are, besides some of the staffing immediate changes or changes as of June, we're trying to look at different programs that might be offered that won't directly impact a certain classroom. We're looking at, what's the magic number in high school to be offering a certain class? Is it 10? Is it 20? Because some of those classes are pretty specific, so trying to be efficient in that way. Are there efficiencies in being creative? We were thinking about putting solar panels on all of our high schools. What would that cost us? What would the cost savings be? So looking at all those pieces, so trying to not directly impact the classroom. Unfortunately, as these reductions continue and as there's more conditionalities on our budgets from the provincial government, I can see the classroom being impacted.
What about working with the Regina Public School Board? Does anything happen on that front to look for efficiencies?
Yes, even as late as last week, we've been meeting with Regina Public to see where we can find some efficiencies, shared services. Of course, we were looking at busing even with the City of Regina, but that didn't seem to be on the table. But we are looking, at busing. But we just signed a contract last June, a great contract that saved us money to be able to balance our budget last year. So reopening that contract is probably non-negotiable. So there might be some additional costs if we do decide to joint bus.
Will this have any impact on the new schools that are opening and some of those projects that were about expansion and growing and not about reduction?
Yeah, so as I said, we're going to be getting 370 new students next year, opening 3 new schools. We're hoping that, that doesn't impact the new schools. We've put in money for furniture and for teachers to be there, so we're hoping that all that will go as planned.
And when will there be a finalized knowledge of exactly how the budget's going to look and where these cuts will be?
So Regina Catholic has always met with its stakeholders ongoing to keep them abreast of what's happening. And so we will continue to do that over the next 2 months. And then we have to have our budget in by June 30th. So as we move forward, some decisions will continually to come out.
Thanks for your time today, Donna.
Thanks so much.